So today's squirrely thought comes from the fact that I feel like I've been stumbling across more and more people who have no interest in reading. And I don't mean, they don't have interest in grabbing a book for the cottage. I mean instead that when pieces of paper cross their desk, arrive in the mail, are handed to them by an employer, it's like their eyes glaze over and they don't feel like doing it. An email longer than 4 sentences and they don't make it past that point. They have no idea what the rest of it said or didn't bother reading it in the first place. And so I guess part of it is being a child of the 80s and having grown up with the concept of pen pals and correspondence. Reading a full length letter, writing a full length letter was normal, but that's paid off because I learned to read and to actually commit to long documents or longer emails. I just wanted to share with you that if you're willing to do that, even if you're not a huge fan of reading for recreation, if you're willing to actually start digging into the different pieces of paper that cross your path, there are some huge financial benefits to that potentially. So I'll just share a couple of examples from my life. First one for you is that an employer I had way back in the day, when I started working there, I read carefully through my contract, first of all, before signing it. Always know what you're committing to. I read policies and procedures. I dug into old board of directors notes to learn history about the organization, because the better you understand the heart, then the more you know how you can contribute in a way that the organization deems valuable. That can increase your chances of a promotion or of getting a pay raise. So knowing all that stuff, I really want to dig into, who am I really working for and how can I contribute? And I came across a board of directors note where they had decided to create a benefit where after 5 years of being employed, you could start receiving contributions to an RRSP on your behalf. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know I had access to that. And there was another note reading further on that said an employee didn't have to wait for the full 5 years, but instead at the 3-year mark could ask if they could be added early. Well, coincidentally, I had been working there for 3 years at that point. I went to my employer. I asked, could I start receiving this benefit early? Here's the note. Here's the document that says I'm able to ask as early as 3 years. And he saw value in what I was contributing to the organization and said, yes, I got an extra 2 years of contributions to my RRSP simply because I read the documents. Now, that's how I made some money or, got more money as a result of reading. I'll tell you how I've saved some money. One of the professional hats that I wear is I'm a first aid instructor, and the kind of courses that I can teach are nationally recognized. They are recognized for the workplace, but that means that they're regulated. And so there are certain standards that I have to adhere to. Otherwise, what can end up happening? A governing body can come in, audit the course, and say you didn't meet the standards. Not only is, maybe one participant's certification revoked because they're the one person I didn't hold to the standard, the entire class can lose their certification. I can lose my instructor designation. I could even impact the national body that I'm associated with that allows me to give nationally recognized certification. So how do I make sure I don't do that? How do I make sure that no certifications get revoked, that there are no troubles, no fines, the financial fallout of a course, being completely thrown out the window? Well, I read the standards, and I continue to read the standards when there are updates. Please, 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 for goodness sakes, the number of times I've come across people that haven't read the standards, don't know the expectations, and here's why. It's 80 pages. Yeah, it's 80 pages. Read the flipping 80 pages. It's important information. I'm just telling you, my goodness, if you are handed a contract, and I'm not talking about iTunes because I think they update that thing every 30 seconds. I don't read that one anymore either. If you are handed an employment contract, if you are handed something that has to do with your work, if you got a prescription medication and there's an insert in it, if there's something from your child's school saying, there's an expectation for an event, there are vaccinations coming up, whatever it is, just do your research. Don't glaze over. Don't go, oh my goodness, just another piece of paper. Find out what it says. Reading a prescription insert could end up saving you from a medical emergency. There's so much good that reading does. So I would hate for you to miss out on opportunities. I would hate for you to be penalized. And because reading has gotten me everything from RRSP contributions to free light bulbs to just saving me a bunch of trouble along the way, I just encourage it. So having said that, do you have any stories of a time when you stopped to read through a piece of paper and it really benefited you. There, hello. Did you end up getting something free? Did you end up receiving money as a result, getting a pay raise or a promotion because you better understood the expectations of your job? Did it save you trouble? I would love to hear your stories. Put them in the comments. And also, just if you found this video interesting or helpful, please like, share, subscribe. And I'm trying to reach 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. And then you'll get notifications for when I have more squirrely thoughts to share that are hopefully helpful for you in your life. I hope you have a great day. All the best. Bye.